What a night for Liverpool, who put 5 past Porto to make it 20 goals scored in the last 6 matches. Sadio Mane, Roberto, Firmino and Mohamed Salah all scored. There was a star performance from Curtis Jones as well.
We played really good football. We didn't use our big chances. We used half chances to score, to be 2-0 up. We played really some good football and scored nice goals, but had even better chances. So it's all good for tonight.
Well, Curtis Jones followed up his goal against Brentford at the weekend with 2 assists last night, and his manager was singing his praises once again.
Curtis played a good game. So he had as well some problems a little bit with the stomach before the game. Doc came into my room and told me that we need to have an eye on him. But I told him after the game, whatever it is, keep it. Because it was really a good game. Set up the first goal with a surprising finish. Goalie cannot save it. He played defensively a top-class game. He defended really well, pressed from the blind side. A lot of things I liked a lot about his performance tonight.
Well, let's get more, shall we, on Liverpool's win over Porto. Delighted to say we're joined by Stephen Warnock. Very good morning to you, Stephen. Stephen, a fantastic display from Jurgen Klopp's side. How much of a marker did that lay down for you?
I think when you think of the game, after the back of going 3-3 against Brentford, it was what type of team would Jurgen Klopp put out? How would he approach the game? I think he showed that with his team selection. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold picked up an injury in training, but then when you're looking for someone to fill in, James Milner, the ideal replacement, and they were just so powerful, so dominant on the night. Porto couldn't live with how strong they were. Yes, they had a few errors from the Porto goalkeeper, but they had so many opportunities and created many more chances that they should have scored as well.
Yeah, and I wonder too, how much was that a fitting tribute to Roger Hunt?
The club was obviously in mourning yesterday. I think you look at his goal record, the sort of his accomplishments in football for England as well as Liverpool. He was nicknamed Sir Roger on the Kop, and it was a big night for the team to sort of pay their respects towards him. I think the fans were vocal about him as well at the ground, supporting, chanting his name, and I just think, yeah, it's a lovely way to pay tribute to such a lovely guy. I've never met him, but everything I hear about him in and around the club was nothing but huge respect for him.
Yeah. Huge respect too from Jurgen Klopp for Curtis Jones. We heard that there, involved in 4 of Liverpool's 5 goals. For you, how much is he starting to show what he can do now?
He was brilliant, really was. From the first whistle, he controlled the game at his tempo as well. He was getting on the ball, making sure that things happened. For the first goal, we saw that his ability to take people on. Yes, he gets a little bit fortunate. The goalkeeper makes an error, but he was always getting in positions to get his shots away. And I thought he was outstanding on the night. But what was interesting was when you listen to Jurgen Klopp after the game, he doesn't speak about Curtis Jones going forward. He talks about his defensive side of the game. That shows you what you have to do to play in the midfield for Liverpool.
Now, at the start of the season, Stephen, Liverpool were questioned for their lack of transfers and questions were asked about the squad depth. But with midfield injuries already happening, is Jurgen Klopp, though, proving he does have that depth already available in what he had?
To lose Harvey Elliott was a little bit of a blow. Well, it is a big blow because of the start he had to the season. But what it's done is it's allowed Curtis Jones to come in, who probably been pushed down the pecking order a little bit, probably felt his nose had been pushed out a little bit. But he's come back with a point to prove. Naby Keita, he's the worry. Can't really put a run of games together without getting injured. But then in the right-back position, you've got James Milner now playing at right-back, but he has the opportunity to play Joe Gomez and then to move James Milner back into midfield. So he does have options. You just never know whether the squad's big enough. The biggest concern, Rob, is getting to the African Cup of Nations, losing Sadio Mane, losing Mohamed Salah. How much of an impact will that have on Liverpool and the Premier League?
Yeah, well, let's get onto that front line, shall we? There were questions around whether that needed freshening up. Again, they proved people wrong. Okay. Of the ones that started, are they back to their best right now?
Oh, they absolutely are. I think when you talk about freshness and did that need freshening up, they needed freshening up as in they needed a rest, and they've got a rest, and they look fresh. They look hungry. The interplay between the three players, they're always looking to try and find each other. There seems a selflessness this season where they're trying to tee each other up. Yes, they will be hungry in front of goal themselves, but they really look like a collective unit who are playing well. And then you throw into the mix Roberto Firmino, who comes off the bench and also lays down a marker to Jurgen Klopp to say, well, I'm still here, I'm still involved in this forward line by getting his goals on the night as well.
So the way he came on and got himself noticed then, not that he needed to, Jurgen Klopp knows all about him, but how much has Jurgen Klopp now got some thinking to do ahead of Manchester City this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Chelsea game, he started with Roberto Firmino, and then it was an injury. After the game, it was interesting because people thought it was a tactical change. And he said, you don't take Roberto Firmino off that early in a game of this magnitude unless it's forced upon. And it shows you the trust that he has from the manager. I think that is the one position that is probably up for grabs at the weekend. It might be a toss of a coin between Jota and Firmino, and that's just a quality that both players possess. Mane and Salah will undoubtedly start with the start that they've had to the season and how dangerous they're looking. But that is the one position that perhaps Jurgen Klopp will be looking at.
Yeah, and then knitting it all together, both on the field and off it as well. A 400th appearance for Jordan Henderson as well. The first player since Steven Gerrard to reach that landmark. How important is he and his role still at Liverpool?
It's massive. His organisation skills. He was ordering people about last night, making sure that they were on the games. He was disappointed to come off. You could see how frustrated he was. He was enjoying the game. He was enjoying being on the ball, trying to make things happen. I think what we have to remember is the career that he's had at Liverpool it's been tough at times. There's been times where managers have perhaps not played him, not thought he's captain material or Liverpool material. He's proven everybody wrong in that respect and proven that he is an incredible captain for Liverpool and gone on to lift numerous trophies now. But he's a fantastic professional and a massive asset to Liverpool.
Yeah, certainly is. OK, finally, Stephen, what will this result have done for Liverpool ahead of that huge game against Manchester City this Sunday?
Well, it'll have given Liverpool confidence knowing that they've gone away to Porto, who are also unbeaten this season, got a good emphatic victory, but then to look across and see the result and see that Manchester City have been beaten, there is that concern that Manchester City will respond. They'll fight back. But you're also hoping that there's a little bit of a knock of confidence along the way. And that's what they'll be looking for. If you were going to Manchester City, to the Etihad, you'd be expecting a huge response. Liverpool fans will know now they've got a huge part to play in the game on Sunday at Anfield, trying to back the team, trying to make it a hostile environment for Manchester City to enter.